Annyeong, it's Mikey here, and guys, I truly want to thank you so much for just helping me build this channel up. I can't believe how far it's come, and it's all thanks to you guys. Honestly, it's all thanks to all the viewers, and I just hope I can keep building this channel up into something even better. Now today, I really want to thank Velocifier, because I did want to try out this new board, and they sent me out the new Weikav Stars75. Here you go. So it is the Weikav Stars75. It's gonna be the special red edition, and yeah, I'm so excited to try it out. See if it's even comparative to like the Rainy75 that came out last year. And yeah, so let's go straight into the unboxing, and please make sure to like and subscribe.
So starting off with the unboxing of the Weikav Stars 75. Thank you again to Velocifier for sending me this out, because I really did want to try out this board. Now, we're going to open this box. It does have an accessories box on the side, so we get a USB dongle, like a extender, a USB cable, just your basic cable though, so it's nothing like braided or anything like that, and your basic switch puller, keycap puller. Nothing really extra special, and you don't actually get extra switches either, which is quite unfortunate. Now we do get a manual with like the shortcut functions, and we're gonna now look at this beautiful board. So they did send me out the red version, which is like this Korean version, which I really appreciated, and it looks really nice. Sorry that my camera wasn't really focusing at first. It is sometimes it takes a while to focus. Now I do like this red. I mean, it's a bit too red, honestly. I think the keycaps could have been a little bit more plain, but oh, it does have a nice USB dongle holder, which is great. Do appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, this board looks great. Like, I love how it feels, and it does look really amazing. Now we're gonna have to weigh the board before we get into a sound test, so let's see how much it weighs. It's about 1.8 kilos. So now that we've done the unboxing, we're gonna of course have to do a teardown of this board. Luckily, it's actually not too difficult to do. They have 4 screws only, and it's all on the bottom, and once you remove the screws, you're able to open up the gasket. Now, it is much appreciated because it is very easy to do. It's because it's only 4 screws in total, and you're gonna have to make sure you use that star-shaped screwdriver. So make sure you just have the star-shaped head, because it is a bit different than your usual. So that's what you're gonna need to open this up to take a look. Now, as you can see on the back of the top plate, it shows you like that little gem area where it's gonna have the LED shine through. You're gonna have to be very careful when you are doing this board though. one thing that occurred to me was that I actually ended up ruining the backlighting and the bottom left LED while I was actually doing this teardown. And that is not something great, but I mean, it's unfortunate. I don't really mind though, because I don't care about shine through, but it is quite the unfortunate thing. Now, this board does come with quite a bit of foam, as you can see. So it does have a back of the PCB foam and even a plate foam on the bottom. And the plate foam on the bottom was quite interesting because it is like a styrofoam type of material, which was quite interesting to see. And I think it provides a lot of dampening too. So as you can also see while I was doing the teardown, there is the LEDs. For the corners are actually separate, so you actually have to plug them into the PCB separately. And yeah, I mean, that is actually quite interesting to see. It is an FR4 plate on the board, and you do get a foam between the plate and the PCB. And yeah, I mean, this board was really well put together. It does really give a lot of the aspects of like the Rainy75, right? So it kind of gives you that reminder. And one thing interesting though is as you can see, like on the sides, like where it's like a spring shaped, it's almost like a spring actually. It does provide quite a bit of flex and just a bit of a bounce to your typing, which is really nice. I actually really appreciated that because typing on this keyboard actually felt really nice. When I had the Rainy75, I remember it was just a really bad typing experience in terms of fatigue. But yeah, I mean, this thing feels so great to type on. Now, underneath that plate on the bottom is actually your batteries, so you get a total of 8,000 milliamp hour batteries. I also did appreciate that it does have a long battery life, and yeah, I mean, I love this design. The back weight as well, incredibly nice, and I truly think that this is a very well built board, especially when you consider the price. And I do want to also give you guys a sound test for without any of the foam on the bottom. And I think that would really help kind of hear what it sounds like. So even without any foam, this board actually sounds really nice. I was quite shocked about that. And as you can see, while I'm pulling on the bottom left LED, I did end up actually destroying the red cable, which ended up destroying my whole RGB. So be careful when you are working with this, because you do not want to break anything. And I've always break something. I'm terrible at this stuff. Now I am doing a tape mod, so I'm doing 2-layer tape mod on this board, and see, of course, how good it sounds. But I'm also going to be fixing the spacebar. It does have a little bit of a hollow sound to it. But before I get into it, of course, I'm going to put this keyboard back together. Again, super easy, only 4 screws, which is really nice to deal with. Now, for the spacebar, I'm going to be using the car sound dampener. Normally I use this on like the spacepars for pretty much every board I do. It just helps really fill in the spacebar and like reduce that hollowness, like hollow sound, and it makes it sound just a little bit more full and mutes the sound quite a bit, because the spacebars for most keyboards are usually quite loud. So I really do appreciate using the car sound dampener because it's easy to cut up and easy to put into the board itself, and as well as the spacebar. Now we're going to quickly do this, and then we're going to go into the modded sound test. Now, going into my initial thoughts of this board. Now, the red is quite red, and not the keycaps will not be for everyone. I also didn't like how they did the 120. I don't think we really needed it in Korean. But in general, this material though feels really nice. It feels actually quite premium for the price when you consider it. I really appreciated it. I don't actually like the LEDs on the corners though. They're like, I don't think it was necessary. I mean, I get it. It's a differentiation, say, compared to the other keyboards in the market, and specifically, I think the keyboard that's the closest, which is the Rainy75. Like, if you look at the back of this board, it reminds you heavily of the Crush 80, which is a WAP keyboard. It is so close to it, like the design-wise. But it is quite interesting with this board. It's very smooth metal. And I'm actually also very curious for what other people are thinking. So I had a comment on one of my videos about the switch on being on the PCB for turning on wireless and such. So please let me know down below in the comments what your guys' thoughts are, because really they said that like they don't like YouTubers talking about it and they think it's a good design choice. I'm really curious what other people think, because again, this is all a personal preference thing. So please let me know. So the switch that comes with this specific board that I got was the Chingyun switch. Now, this switch I personally felt was a very, very like thocky switch. It was well done with this board. Sounds really nice, and it also feels really nice to type on. From what I saw, this thing is about 45 grams, about 45, 48 grams in terms of the weight, and the stem wobble is not too bad. It doesn't have a ton of stem wobble. It's slightly there, but very, very little, which is, again, very much appreciated, because you don't want a ton of stem wobble when you are typing or playing video games. Now, I really did like the sound, and yeah, I mean, this board feels really great to type on. Like, it sounds nice to type on. It's not too loud either once you lube the switches, but incredibly well done. Now, the stabilizers as well on this board felt really great. They come pre-lubed, and I didn't have issues with tinging or like clipping sounds. It was very well done with this clip-in stabilizers on this board. So even stock, you could use this board without any issues, though I would prefer lubing switches in general. Now, let me go into the software to give you a bit more of insight. But to find the software, this is where you're going to have to go. So first, let's go check out Weikav's website to look at the Stars75-S, which is the one that I'm using, which comes to be around 115 to 119 USD. Now, the red version is a little bit more of a special version with the Korean keycaps, so please keep that in mind. Now, going through the website, as you can see, right out of the box, like that's what this keyboard was meant for, is to be really perfectly usable right out of the box. And quite surprised with the quality that you're getting with this board. I mean, as you can see there though, from that design, it really does look close to a Crush 80, but I'm really, really actually appreciating that leaf spring that they did. It feels incredibly great. And of course, this board comes with two different switches. So one is, of course, the Chingyun, and the second one is going to be the Carmine switch. And they do provide many different color variations, which is much appreciated. Now, you're going to go into the softwares and firmware to be able to get the JSON file to use via with the Stars75. Now, you should click on the link actually to download it. It's depending on some companies though, they do have like just a website link, and then you have to right click save it. So this one is actually a Google Drive. You're going to have to go into VIA. You're going to press load, of course, and then load the JSON file to be able to configure your board. Now, I was trying to see if the lighting would work when I do make some changes here, as I did kind of ruin the backlighting of the board. Now, I don't mind, but be careful if you ever do open up your board, because you do not want to break the backlighting on your board. That's the whole point of the design, and you would have bought it because of the design. And yeah, unfortunately, I broke the bottom left and the backlighting of it. Now, using Keyboard Inspector, we can check to see that it is 1000 Hertz polling rate. Now, this isn't the most accurate, and it's not showing the latency, but this is what I could do without a proper tool. Now, going further into this review of this board, I really appreciated the typing on this board. This board was very well done in terms of feeling light, and I really appreciated that. Like, that leaf spring feels amazing, and you do get some flex on this board, which is really nice, and it doesn't tire your fingers like I experienced with the Rainy75. And honestly, the lighting on the corners, I honestly, personally, am not a big fan of. That's a personal thing, though. Some people might like it, especially if you're getting this board. Now, one thing I did want to do, though, is give you a bit of a side-by-side sound test between the Rainy75, ND75, and more. So, as you guys could have heard, this board truly does sound great, like comparing it to the competitors, especially the other 75% I've tried. Specifically because the Rainy75, I think, is the most identical to this one in terms of the whole design and the sound and feel. I think this thing beats the Rainy75, in my own personal opinion. Like, in terms of the design, I still wish the LEDs wasn't there or the RGB wasn't there for the corners, and it was just more of a clean look. But in terms of the typing feel and the sound and everything, this just feels so much better. Though the Rainy75 does have a low latency mode, which technically beats this one in terms of, say, gaming performance. So check it out in the links below.
What did you guys think of the Weikav Stars75? Now, this is a budget board at around 100 USD, and I'd say it's very competitive, like comparative to the Rainy75. And I mean, this is going to be probably the closest comparison to a Rainy75 because it's a very similar style, right? It's a very similar design, very similar in terms of the feel. But what do I think? I think this is a much better option. Honestly, it felt much greater to type on, and it felt much lighter to type on instead of where I felt a lot of finger fatigue when I typed on the Rainy75. And this thing is VIA compatible, which is amazing. And I love the fact that it has like a USB dongle holder, which is also another really great factor of this board. And it sounds so good. Like, I was quite shocked how it sounded stock. Now, you guys really should check this out in the links below, and please let me know down below in the comments what you guys think, and please go check out the other videos I got on this channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.